So today I want to talk about how we're converting our primary house into a furnished rental. Now, if you guys didn't know already, we came from the Bay Area, California to Dallas about 2 years ago, and we decided to convert that home into a midterm rental. We moved over here, and now we're planning to do the exact same thing. We're going to travel for about a year abroad. So in order for us to do that, we're basically doing this Airbnb house hack where we can make up for the expenses, even cash flow, while we're abroad. Now, this is going to be our third furnished rental. We also bought another furnished rental in Dallas as well. If you guys didn't know about that one already, go ahead and check out that video on my channel where I give you guys a tour and talk about the process. Now, the benefit of converting your primary home into a furnished rental is that you already have all the furniture. You just need to clean it up a little bit, move your personal belongings somewhere, and then list your property so that you can actually start cash flowing while you're possibly traveling. So before I get into how we are able to do this, I wanted to quickly talk about how we bought this at $270,000, where the interest rates were pretty low at the time. So our monthly expenses aren't that high, which allows us to cash flow while we rent this place out. And that was kind of my thinking when I bought this property. I knew that this wasn't going to be my forever home. And then actually moving from place to place, living in it for a year or two, and then renting it out could be a viable real estate investing strategy. So that's kind of what I had in mind when I bought this place. And then when we bought the furniture, we knew we didn't have to get luxury items. We could just buy something good enough for Airbnb. So going into this, we already had that end in mind. It's just really cool to see that we are actually following through with the travel plans. Now let's go into exactly how to convert your primary home into an Airbnb if you're trying to do this strategy. So before anything, if you are getting ready to rent this place out, you need to be able to remotely manage the place. So you can either hire a property management company or you can build your own team boots on the ground. So for us, we decided to find a local cleaner as well as a handyman to help us with the management while we're abroad. Now, since we knew that this was the plan for this home, we actually bought our other furnished rental in Dallas with that in mind, because if we bought that home, it would force us to find that boots on the ground team, hire the cleaners, hire the handyman. So it would force us to put the systems in place already. In order to find your cleaner, you can look on turno.com. I can put a link below. That's how we found ours, and that cleaner is going to be helping us with that furnished rental as well as this primary home. And then for your handyman, I actually found mine on Facebook groups, and I also found another handyman just talking to people at Home Depot. So you never know where you're going to find your handyman or contractor. Now, how we actually specifically found our handyman was that when I was on the Facebook group, I needed some different things to be fixed. He repaired something in our other furnished rental, and we knew he was pretty reliable. He was true to his word and he was responsive. So that was someone we wanted to work with longer term. So we basically offered a flat monthly fee so that when we're abroad, he would be able to kind of handle some of the messaging as well as go visit the properties, take out the trash, let us know if there's any problems with the house and fix it. So in terms of repairs though, we would pay extra if he were to repair anything, but he would be the eyes on the ground for both properties. So that's the current plan. If we find that remote management is more difficult, we might hire a property management company. These Airbnb property management companies usually take about 20 to 22% of the rents, which is a lot higher than we are used to. Usually it's 8 to 10% of the rents for the long-term rentals, but for Airbnbs, they do take a larger cut because there's more turnover, as well as they have to coordinate with different teams and message the guests and things like that. We're planning to do the flat monthly fee with our handyman because we also already have the cleaning team in place and we've already kind of built our systems. We've already set up our listings. So that's why we don't want to hire a property management company just yet, because we've already done a lot of the legwork. The thing is, we're planning to travel to Asia where there's a huge time zone difference. So we definitely need to pay someone to be on the ground here. Next, you're going to have to get your place ready for photos. So with our last furnished rental, since we already have all this camera gear that, I'm filming myself with right now, we brought that over and we took pictures of the other house. However, we decided we wanted to maybe get more professional photos. So what we did was just clean up everything, went on Google, looked for a different photography company. It was about $275 or so in order to get pictures of the house taken. But I think it was worth it because I did so much of the work last time where setup and just editing the photos and things like that took so much time. And I think the quality is pretty good as well. So make sure you vet the portfolios of the photography teams that you want to work with, see if it makes sense for you. But I think professional photos are way better than like camera phone photos. I tend to gravitate towards those types of photos when I'm booking on Airbnb. Now, when you're cleaning things up, you're going to realize you need a place for storage. For example, I'll have like my desktop and my Nintendo Switch out, and I know those aren't amenities I'm going to give to my guests. So I have to hide that in the photos. And I also can't have that around for my guests. So we basically decided to take the 4th bedroom and convert that into like a storage area and just make this into a 3-bedroom, 2-bath instead of a 4-bedroom. Now, we totally could have just moved everything to an exterior storage place. And we actually do have multiple sheds at our other property, which we were planning to like move some of these things. But the sheds weren't well insulated, so I was worried about putting like our electronics in there. This way, I know that it's gonna be safe. And what we're gonna basically do is put a security camera in that 4th bedroom with all of our stuff to make sure that no one's touching it. That 4th bedroom area is also where we're gonna put like different materials for the cleaning people, because they are going to need to access different things like extra sheets and comforters or like laundry detergent or cleaning supplies and things like that. So we need a place to put everything, and the way our setup is with our house, there's no room in the laundry room area to store supplies. So we decided this was the best way to do it. We just give them maybe a code or a key to go into the 4th bedroom to grab supplies. Another thing is you need to possibly store your car. If you don't have a garage and you can't put the car in that garage, you're gonna need to look for another place you can store your car. So that's something we're also looking at, where I think we can rent a place for $30 a month. We haven't booked that yet, but that's something you guys will need to look into, as well as your mail. Your mail is gonna be coming to your home, so you need to forward that to another address that you might be staying at, or you can send that to a virtual mailbox so that you can look at it abroad while you're traveling the world. Now, we've already developed that relationship with the cleaning team, so we trust them. You guys will need to do your vetting, so make sure that you use Turno.com or whatever resource you want to use. The way we did our first clean was basically had them clean our primary home first, vet to see if we're happy with them. Then we moved on to having them clean our furnished rental, and then now we're going to have them regularly clean this primary home that's going to be converted. So what I like to do after doing all this stuff, if you already have the photos, you can actually put up the listing right away, even if you don't have everything figured out. This is just for me because we were like dragging our feet, and because we were taking so long, I wanted to put the listing up, and if we ever got a booking, then it would kick us into high gear and make sure we get everything done. That might not be the way to go for you. You might want to make sure everything is ready. Maybe you move out already so that you have the place ready to go for guests. But what we've actually done so far is we've already put the listing up. The place isn't like completely clean right now if someone were to book it right now, but we have the listing available about a month or 2 out. So even if someone books, we'll have time to like get it ready. Now, the things that we need to do to get it ready is we have like different cracks like on the walls. The paint is a little off because we were painting it the incorrect color. One of the tile pieces on the bathroom floor is a little messed up. So we have little things we need to fix here and there. And then we also need to move all of our clothes into that 4th bedroom. So the place isn't ready yet, but that's something you guys should make sure you do, is you need to fix the little knickknacks here and there to make sure the place is ready for people. We're gonna do a roof inspection as well, and we're gonna make sure pest control comes by to make sure there are no critters in the house. So little things here and there we're trying to get ready before we move out of the house in like 2 to 3 weeks, which is pretty insane. We're leaving pretty soon. So there's basically that. You guys have to make sure the home is completely ready in terms of furnishing, but also with renovations. You also want to make sure you have a welcome book. This is something I've done with all my furnished rentals. I have a guide where it goes over how to use specific electronics. Like I'll take pictures of me using it, like the washing machines, the dryers. We have information on like trash day and things like that, as well as local eats and places to drink, stuff like that, things to do. You want to give them a resource so they know where things are, how to use different things. things and where to go if they want to have fun. If you guys are curious about how to furnish the place, I mean, here are some of the photos of our place right now. And basically, you know, you have the living room set up, you have smart TVs in every single room. That's something we prefer to do. I know there have been questions of, is it worth it to have a TV in every single room? But I definitely appreciate it when I am traveling to have that. So we have like 43 plus inch TVs in every single bedroom, 65 inch TV in the living room. And we also stock the kitchen with different things like blenders, toasters, toaster ovens. Well, we also use that for our living in these past 2 years, right? So all we had to do was just give them our supplies, which is pretty chill. That's why I like converting, you know, our primary homes into Airbnbs, because they're already almost set up. I noticed that with our other furnished rental, people complain when there wasn't a coffee maker or a toaster. So it is important to put a lot of those things in the kitchen. Another thing is you're gonna need to make sure the supplies are stocked in terms of like multiple sheets and towels in case anything happens for the cleaner to replace with. If you need to send supplies to the Airbnb, see if you can work out an arrangement with the cleaner where you can send the supplies through Amazon to their place and they'll bring it over to the furnished rental. That has been pretty useful for us. Now, when you are setting up the listing, obviously you have to put in the photos, the different details, but some things to note are the cancellation policies as well as the instant book policy. You should definitely list it to what you are looking for. So if you don't want people to be able to instant book and you would rather review the reservation request, make sure that instant book is off. And then for cancellations, we like to have it on strict, so basically no refunds and things like that. And you also want to make sure, especially if you're converting your primary home, to list the available dates for the property. So for us, basically, I figured out when we're gonna fly out, and then we made it so that it's unavailable until that day that we're leaving. So make sure you don't just turn on the listing and it's available all the days, and then you have to move out of the house if they book it and then come back in. You want to make sure you're prepared for exactly when the place is going to be vacant. And then last thing I want to add is we are going to look into insurance companies, travel nurses, find contacts basically to see if any of them need longer stays with our different properties. So that's some of the work that we're gonna be doing after we get this place completely ready. So where we're at currently with this home is we basically took the photos, we have the listing up. We do need to repair little things here and there, so we're not done with that part yet. We're gonna need to deal with the car, the mailing address, stuff like that. But we are getting close to being ready. I'm super excited for our move, and make sure to stay tuned because I will probably be documenting a little bit while I'm abroad. And if you guys have any questions about converting your home into an Airbnb, let me know in the comments below and I'll try to help you guys out. And if you guys like this episode, you're gonna like this other one about how much we make on our Airbnb. Subscribe, hit the bell button to be notified of my latest videos, and I'll see you guys in the next one.